Good morning. It is February the 19th. Definitely didn't think I would update you this quickly, but some stuff has happened. Um, I had my counselor session on Thursday, and she is trying to get me to think more of what I do right and concentrate on that and kind of like tick the things that I accomplish throughout the day, even if it's just getting up and making my bed or whatever. Um, yeah, it's quite interesting to try to think like that, because it's not. Yeah, I am so often looking at the negative of what I don't accomplish rather than what I do accomplish. So definitely trying to be proud of what I do accomplish. Um, and yeah, and like little goals I set myself to do. Um, just listening to worship music in the back, and I'm hoping that it's not gonna come up with like something um, on my video here about that later on, but we'll see. I don't even know if you guys can hear it. Anyways, I just watched church online. I haven't watched church online in so long. And I listened to my pastor open up the church today to say that he is stepping down. He feels like God is calling him to step down. Yeah, it's very interesting. He's gone on sabbatical last year as well. And he actually apparently in a whole bunch of a church meeting or something came out saying how he struggled with relationships, and but he has chosen his wife, and he has a little bit of a struggle with his sexuality, which is massive for him to come out and say in a church setting, and it's probably massive for his wife to have him come out and said that he has struggled with that in the past. I'm not quite sure why he was led to share that with us, but obviously, it authenticates who he is, and as a real person, along with obviously this stepping down from the church just months after he said something like that. I definitely feel like the church is shifting, or whether that's just me shifting. Yeah, it's interesting. Interesting also that my home group has just ended, and I am now going to try to go to the home group of the pastor who is now stepping down. So, no idea really what that entails, or whether or not even if this home group will last. But it's at the church, so it's the easiest for me to get to. Smaller group, which is great because I like a smaller group, and maybe people around the same age as me. So I'm excited for this new opportunity, nervous for this new opportunity. I don't really do well with new groups of people, but I am going to put on my big girl pants, as I like to say, and just give it my all and go and check it out. I know it's going to be biblically sound because of the pastor running it, and that's really important to me. you know, it's good for me to meet some different people at the church who are not all retired. Yeah, it's a new opportunity, um, and I want to embrace it as I want to grow and strengthen my own faith and strengthen my character, and I guess maybe get back fellowship. Fellowship in church is not something I've ever had here in New Zealand. I had it quite and do like I've got a lot of friends at home, so that fellowship within the Salvation Army was really, really strong for me. I was also in everything, so I can't, but I kind of haven't had it since I left the Salvation Army. I had it a little bit in college with the Salvation Army in Saskatchewan, but I've never ever had it here in New Zealand. Not because I don't want to say I don't necessarily wanted it, but yeah, unfortunately, I have always put up a boundary and a barrier when it comes to fellowship at church. I kind of want to go in and do my thing and not make it around fellowship. I think as a child, as a youth, as much as I wanted the meet, and that's what led me obviously to go to Bible college, I feel like it was more about the fellowship. Obviously, the worship was massive to me. Loved my home group, loved my youth group, loved home group Bible study. Got a lot out of that. Got a lot out of one-on-one mentorship. But it was more about, I guess, the fellowship. And I do feel like I learned a lot. Don't get me wrong. But I guess I'm more weary around people than I ever was before, especially being a solo. I've just said to my friend, it's kind of like a triggering for me. Post-traumatic stress, bringing me back to what it was like when I was that 10, 11, 12-year-old, going to church by myself, not sure where to sit, but knowing I needed to be there, and just, the judgment of other people. And I guess I come into the stage again where don't know where to sit, and I'm single and divorced and no children. Just the stigma that I've put around myself in so I go to church basically for the worship and the scripture, and I like it to be really sound scripture. It's interesting. I'm only starting to really recognize more of the boundary, I think, as I am learning more about myself and my character and the barriers that I've put up for myself. Not quite sure how to break those barriers down, but obviously my counselor is aware of this. And I believe that she is a Christian and goes to church. So it is definitely something that we want to work on, and it does basis around attachment. I just kind of want to go in, do my thing, and get out, which is exactly what I do with dance. It's exactly what I do with a lot of things. And people don't realize that, because they're like, you're so social and you don't do this and you don't do that. And most of the people that I've met here in New Zealand have been through my ex. And so I've had him there by my side to get to know people, which always makes things easier, or 2, through my workplace. And when you work with children and you work with a bunch of women or individuals, there is a guy that does work with us, and children and families, you have to be somebody that you're not. I have to be friendly. I have to go out of my way to say hi, how you doing, like, and make small talk. Like, I have to do that because my job requires it. And through that, I have made some amazing friends here in New Zealand. And so I'm so grateful to do that, and I see the validity in doing that and how it can change everything. But pushing myself to do the same thing at church or dance does not come natural to me. Some of the issue, I think, is that I enjoy my friends and those attachments, that I like to focus on that, and I find that if I have too many, I struggle to keep up with everyone, and I like to be able to try to be there for people as much as I can, and I struggle to do that when I'm in a bigger group. I don't like to know a million people. It's not my goal in life. I do enjoy having these quiet moments, and if my life gets too full, then those quiet moments go away. And that might sound crazy, but you know, it's the way that it is for me. Yeah, I mean, I grew up in just a household of me, my brother, and my mom, so that's kind of the way it's always been for me. But yeah, I know that change is coming. I can feel it coming. I can feel the shift. It's quite exhilarating and scary, but brings so much hope and possibilities and opportunities that I'm excited about, and like I said, terrified for what that's gonna look like, because I have no idea. There's something in me that can just feel it, that the shift is coming as I've concentrate more and become more in tune with me and my emotions and my feelings through counseling, and that I'm such an in-depth thinker and reflector. You know, I've got no one at the moment but myself to concentrate on, and as I become more stable in where I live, you know, I don't think I will fully catch my breath or fully kind of be able to feel okay until I, like, you know, my life has been chaotic, moving from one place to the next the last probably 3 years. I've gone from a stable home that I lived in for, you know, 4 or 5 years with Sam, and 7 years in another place, to 3 years with one person, with a group with Nigel and Carol, to then, you know, 6 months at residence, 6 months, 5 months with Kim, 5 months with Stevie. You know, I'm finally going on 2 years now with, like, I've just done a full year, one full year with Noisa, and going into another year with her. But in that space, we've also had to move. So I just haven't quite caught my feet at the moment for something foundational and stable, other than work. Yeah. sorry, this is very whirlwind. But yeah, I just wanted to let you know really what was going on with what had the change that had happened with home group. And yeah, I don't know whether that means I'll see Nigel or I won't. Gutted I won't hear him speak anymore, because he's really, really good, but understanding our home group was filled with a lot of retirement people, and a lot of people were shifting in and out, and some people had changed churches and are still coming, and we just didn't know what was going to happen with this. And I felt for a while that I needed to change home group, so this is that opportunity to do that. And I guess to get in with other people who maybe don't know my ex and or my ex's family. I'm just a little, I guess, not so secluded in that bubble of that family either. If that makes any sense, I have no idea. But anyways, I just thought I would give you that little update, and I hope you guys are all having a good Saturday or Sunday, wherever you are. And I just, yeah, wish you guys all a great week.